I'll tell you what, the big news at the moment is still the wildfires in LA. That's on the tip of everyone's tongue at the moment. Everywhere you turn, you're seeing it. I've got a quick story there, but it's going to lead me into something else about celebrity and money and whatever else and privilege. But I was looking at continuing coverage this morning of the wildfires, and I said to her indoors today, I said, I'll tell you what, I said, you've had loads of these movie stars coming on the TV telling us they've lost everything and whatever else. I said, now, I'd said to her indoors a couple of days ago, I said, firstly, when I heard they were losing properties, I thought, well, they're film stars, they're movie stars, it's the same thing. They've got plenty of money, it's not going to hurt them. You know, they'll just move on to something else. But as you start to think about it, you think, well, wait a minute. They may have money, but everything's relative. I mean, if my house burns down today, and I've been in this house 10 or 15 years, and I've loved the place, I'm going to be gutted. If all the houses near it go, and shops and schools and restaurants and everything else, I'm going to be even more so. Whole communities level to the ground. So I do have some sympathy with them after all when I thought more deeply. And then also I'm hearing things on the TV about movie stars that have lost their properties and haven't been insured. And I thought, well, that's even worse. There was James Woods on the television the other day. I might have mentioned, well, I did mention it. You might have watched it, you might not have done. And I felt sorry for him because I thought, well, he's lost everything. He's got a big mansion there. You don't see much of him on TV anymore or in movies. He's never the big star anymore. He might not have pots and pots and pots of money. If he's lost everything and not insured, he might never be able to have the same thing again. Anyway, as it turns out, good news on that front. Yesterday I read James couldn't believe it. At this moment in time, his house is still standing. He's one of the few stars that thought they'd lost their homes, and they're still there. It's amazing. He's one of those where Easy's okay, and everything around it's burnt to the ground. It's the same with Tom Hanks. I think he's kept his home at this moment in time, and a couple of others have. But I felt a bit happier for him. But as I say, I was talking about it to her indoors today, and she said, well, they can afford it. It's not like me or you. They've no problem. They'll just move on to something else. And she sort of has got a point. And then as she's saying that, I'm flicking through the paper and I'm noticing Lily Allen. Now, she's been in the news a lot as well because her husband has split up. They've had a falling out. They weren't getting on. They met on, is it Raya, the celebrity dating app, and she's found he's got another profile, a secret hidden profile that she knew nothing about, and although they're together, he's still looking for other folk on the old Raya. She's found out, they've split up, and that's it. And we've read for the last week or so she's been struggling. Anyway, I read today, I couldn't believe it. I wrote it down in case I got it wrong, the amounts. She's gone to a trauma clinic. She's suffering that badly. She's gone to a trauma clinic and she pays £8,000 a week for the privilege. And that made me think, there is something in what her indoors said. I mean, £8,000 a week. Imagine me or you, missus. You leave your hubby or he leaves you, or her indoors leaves me or I leave her. I mean, I'd pay her to leave me, but I've not got the £8,000. But imagine we did and we was really down and depressed. Really down and depressed. We're not that way inclined that we could go and spend £8,000 a week to sit in a clinic and somebody, massaging our feelings and our egos and making us feel better about ourselves. They're in a different world, these celebrities, aren't they? Imagine all the divorces that go on in the UK at this moment in time. Imagine if everybody scuttled off to a what's it called again? I've got it wrong. Is it trauma clinic? I think it was. Don't know why I don't leave these on, really. A trauma clinic at £8,000 a week, £32,000 a month. I'm not going to work out the yearly because I probably can't do it. It's about 390,000, is it? 380,000. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. And I'm thinking, it is a different world, isn't it? It is. So I do feel sorry for these that have lost their homes. I do. But it wouldn't be quite the same as if I lost my home or you lost yours, would it, really? It'd be a bit different for ourselves. There's no doubt about that. But then again, the sympathy's still there. It's an awful thing what's happening. And at this moment in time, they still can't get it under control. So you've got to ask, when is it going to end? It's just crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Anyway, I'll leave that thought with you. Let's get this knocked off.